In this video, we will be talking about how I can use data validation, or in this case, drop-down menus, to make your data entry much more consistent. So it's very important that when we enter data into our spreadsheet, we always do it consistently. So for example, if I write down percussion, I always want percussion to be written down the same way. I don't want to write down percussionist or percussion, because then that could mess with the calculations that we have over here. So for example, let's say I changed Opal Ball's instrument from percussion to percussionist, like this. And then if I go over to the pivot table and I refresh it, you'll see that now we have percussionist and percussion, and that could really mess with the data. So I'm going to delete that little error I had there, and I'm going to go back and refresh the pivot table back so that's the way it's supposed to be. And we're going to put put drop-down menus in this column so that we know that the data will always be entered consistently. So I'm going to select all the data from this range. And then I'm going to go to Data, and then click on Data Validation. And then where it says Allow, I'm going to click on List. So the source is the range from which I will get the different options. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to go to Sheet 2. And this is where I listed all the different options. I listed all the different instruments here. So I'm going to click on the first option, alto saxophone, and drag down. I'm going to give a few extra rows. And then I'm going to press Return, and then press OK. And you'll see that now for every single one of these, we have drop-down menu options. So for example, let's say Ada switches from clarinet to trombone. I can just make that change. If I want to add an instrument, I can just add one to the bottom, add instrument here. So let's say one kid plays the bassoon. So then let's say Arlene here switches to bassoon. Now the option shows up in the drop-down menu. And when I go back to this pivot table and I refresh it, you'll see that the numbers calculate correctly.